Something strange going on there, and the research I did with psychiatrists, even though they didn't bring up a particular mental...
Glenn Close stands as one of America's most formidable dramatic forces, a theatrical titan whose commanding presence has dominated both stage and screen for over 4 decades. Her journey from Broadway's hallowed halls to Hollywood's elite circles represents a masterclass in artistic evolution, transforming classical training into cinematic gold through sheer intellectual prowess and unwavering commitment to craft. Close's approach to performance transcends mere entertainment, elevating each role into a psychological excavation that demands absolute precision from every collaborator.
What were those early days? Scary, exciting?
Thrilling.
Her background in legitimate theater instilled an almost academic reverence for text analysis and character archaeology that frequently intimidated less prepared co-stars. This scholarly dedication to dramatic truth created an atmosphere where casual professionalism simply couldn't survive. The transition from stage to film brought Close into contact with performers whose relaxed attitudes toward preparation and collaborative responsibility directly challenged her rigorous standards. Her expectations for scene partners extended far beyond memorized lines into deep understanding of subtext, motivation, and emotional authenticity that many Hollywood veterans found exhausting and pretentious. These weren't simple personality conflicts between difficult artists, but fundamental disagreements about the sacred nature of dramatic work itself. Close's encounters with 6 particular actors revealed the vast chasm between her theatrical discipline and their more commercial approaches to performance, creating professional relationships marked by mutual incomprehension and barely concealed artistic contempt that would define some of cinema's most memorable yet troubled productions. 6. Michael Douglas. The psychological intensity of Fatal Attraction created an explosive dynamic between Glenn Close and Michael Douglas that transcended their characters' toxic relationship to infect the actual production process. Close's total transformation into Alex Forrest required a level of psychological commitment that made Douglas visibly uncomfortable.
But you never know that. I mean, she's a character that never has the opportunity for the audience to actually understand.
As her refusal to abandon the character between takes created an atmosphere of genuine unease on set. Douglas arrived each day expecting traditional Hollywood professionalism, only to encounter Close maintaining Alex's predatory energy during lunch breaks and casual conversations. Glenn would speak in Alex's voice even when discussing schedule changes, recalled assistant director Robert Greenhut. Her commitment to staying psychologically connected to the character's deteriorating mental state pushed the boundaries of method acting into territory that Douglas found disturbing. The tension escalated when Close began offering suggestions for character development that Douglas perceived as attempts to hijack his dramatic arc. Her extensive research into stalking behavior and obsessive psychology intimidated Douglas, who preferred instinctive reactions over analytical preparation. She had footnoted every psychological motivation, while Michael just wanted to play the scenes, observed screenwriter James Dearden. The experience left Douglas questioning whether Close's commitment crossed from dedication into dangerous territory, while Close privately dismissed his concerns as evidence of insufficient artistic courage and superficial understanding of dramatic transformation. 5. Jeff Bridges. The 1985 legal thriller, Jagged Edge, paired Glenn Close with Jeff Bridges in what should have been a sophisticated exploration of trust and deception, but their contrasting work philosophies transformed every scene into a battle between meticulous preparation and spontaneous discovery.
And you see a little bit of that thing, that strange thing about her father. One time she said that he's dead, and she says...
Bridges' reputation for casual improvisation and instinctive performance choices immediately clashed with Close's exhaustive script analysis and predetermined character choices. Close arrived at rehearsals with detailed backstories and psychological profiles for her attorney character, while Bridges preferred exploring motivations organically through multiple takes and experimental dialogue. Jeff would shrug off Glenn's questions about subtext like they were homework assignments, revealed script supervisor Kay Chapin. His laid-back California approach to filmmaking frustrated Close's East Coast theatrical sensibilities about professional rigor. The philosophical divide deepened during courtroom scenes where Close's precise legal research conflicted with Bridges' preference for emotional truth over factual accuracy. Her corrections of his procedural mistakes during filming created visible tension that director Richard Marquand struggled to diffuse. Glenn treated every legal detail like it mattered for the Supreme Court, Bridges later confided to friends. Their different approaches to character psychology became irreconcilable when Close insisted on exploring her character's romantic vulnerability through extensive backstory discussions that Bridges found unnecessarily complicated. His belief in trusting instinctive chemistry conflicted with her need for analytical understanding of every emotional beat. The professional respect that initially existed between them gradually eroded into mutual irritation, with Close viewing Bridges as intellectually lazy, while he dismissed her approach as overthinking that stifled natural performance rhythms and authentic emotional discovery. 4. John Malkovich. A lavish period drama. Dangerous Liaison brought together two of theater's most formidable intellects in Glenn Close and John Malkovich, yet their collaboration devolved into subtle warfare between competing artistic philosophies that threatened to derail the entire production.
And have her around and see her during setups or whenever I could get away from the set.
Both actors arrived with prestigious theatrical credentials and unshakable confidence in their interpretive abilities, creating an immediate power struggle over textual authority and character ownership. Malkovich's idiosyncratic approach to 18th century French aristocracy conflicted sharply with Close's historically grounded research and classical preparation methods. John would invent bizarre physical mannerisms that had no basis in period behavior, observed costume designer James Atchison. His eccentric choices undermined Close's carefully constructed authenticity, leading to heated discussions about historical accuracy versus creative license. The intellectual combat intensified during script meetings where both actors presented conflicting interpretations of Close's original text, each citing different literary sources and critical analyses. Director Stephen Frears found himself mediating scholarly debates that resembled graduate seminars more than film preparation. They would argue about French Revolution politics for hours, Frears later revealed to Interview magazine. Their mutual dismissal became legendary among the cast, with Close viewing Malkovich's methods as self-indulgent showboating, while he considered her approach rigid and creatively suffocating, representing everything pretentious about academic theater training. 3. Robert Redford. The mythic baseball epic The Natural in 1984 showcased Glenn Close in a supporting role that highlighted the uncomfortable dynamics between established Hollywood royalty and serious dramatic artists seeking recognition. Robert Redford's legendary status and producer control over the project created a hierarchical atmosphere that frustrated Close's expectations for collaborative artistic input and equal creative consideration. Redford's casual attitude toward dramatic preparation conflicted with Close's intensive character development process, particularly regarding her Earth Mother figure, who represented Roy Hobbs's redemptive possibility. Bob would show up and expect magic to happen through charisma alone, revealed cinematographer Caleb Deschanel. His reliance on natural screen presence rather than analytical character work irritated Close's methodical approach to role construction.
I think that largely would have to do with the writing.
The tension escalated when Close attempted to discuss her character's symbolic significance within the film's mythological framework, only to encounter Redford's dismissive attitude toward intellectual analysis. His preference for intuitive storytelling over scholarly interpretation made Close feel like her theatrical training was being marginalized. Glenn would prepare dissertations while Bob just wanted to play baseball, observed director Barry Levinson. Close's frustration deepened when Redford's star power determined editing choices that minimized her character's dramatic impact in favor of showcasing his leading man appeal. Her carefully crafted performance moments were sacrificed to maintain his character's centrality to the narrative. Robert treated everyone else like supporting players in his personal mythology, noted producer Mark Johnson. The experience taught Close harsh lessons about Hollywood's star system, where artistic merit often surrendered to commercial considerations an established celebrity hierarchy that reduced serious actors to decorative elements in vanity projects. 2. Robin Williams. The challenging adaptation of The World According to Garp in 1982 thrust Glenn Close into professional collaboration with Robin Williams during his transition from stand-up comedy to dramatic acting, creating fundamental tensions between disciplined theatrical craft and improvisational comedic instincts. Williams's manic energy and compulsive need to entertain conflicted directly with Close's reverent approach to John Irving's complex literary material. Close's extensive preparation for her supporting role as Jenny Fields involved deep psychological analysis of the character's feminist philosophy and emotional trauma, while Williams treated dramatic scenes as opportunities for spontaneous humor that undermined the source material's serious themes. Robin couldn't resist making jokes during the most intense emotional moments, revealed director George Roy Hill. His inability to maintain dramatic focus frustrated Close's belief in respecting the author's intentions.
And I understand that. And I thought of that when I was doing Alex, where you think if you don't see...
The philosophical divide deepened when Williams's improvisational additions began altering the carefully balanced tone that Close had worked to establish through rigorous script study. Her attempts to discuss character motivation and thematic consistency were met with Williams' deflecting humor and resistance to analytical exploration. Glenn wanted to honor Irving's vision, while Robin wanted to make people laugh, observed screenwriter Steve Tessick. Close's growing irritation became obvious when Williams's comic tangents disrupted her emotional preparation rituals and concentrated performance energy. His compulsive entertaining made serious rehearsal work nearly impossible, transforming collaborative scenes into exercises in patience rather than artistic exploration. 1. Kevin Costner. The emergence of Kevin Costner as Hollywood's leading man during the late 1980s represented everything Glenn Close found intellectually offensive about the film industry's preference for marketable charisma over genuine dramatic ability. Their encounters at industry events and award ceremonies became exercises in mutual professional dismissal, with Close's theatrical credentials clashing against Costner's commercial appeal and limited artistic range. Close's observations of Costner's performances in Dances with Wolves and The Untouchables reinforced her belief that Hollywood systematically rewarded superficial leading man qualities while ignoring the rigorous training and intellectual commitment that legitimate dramatic work demanded. Kevin embodied everything wrong with star-making machinery, Close privately complained to theatrical colleagues. His Oscar success particularly galled her sense of artistic justice. The professional animosity intensified when Costner's box office dominance secured him projects and recognition that Close felt should reward more accomplished dramatic artists. His ability to command enormous salaries while delivering mediocre performances highlighted the industry's commercial priorities over artistic excellence. Close's contempt extended beyond personal dislike into broader criticism of Hollywood's masculine leading man culture. Viewing Costner as representative of an industry that valued conventional attractiveness and safe choices over challenging material and transformative performances that elevated cinema's cultural significance. These confrontations reveal Close's unwavering commitment to theatrical excellence and intellectual rigor. Her demanding standards while creating tension consistently elevated dramatic material beyond commercial entertainment. Subscribe for more revelations about Hollywood's most uncompromising artistic perfectionists.